Excuse me. All right, hey guys, what's going on? It's Intelligent Psycho back here with another stream, and this time I'm coming back to talk about the WNBA scores and highlights from the past few days. Had a lot of highlights and a lot of scores. So first off, I'm gonna talk about what happened the previous night on July the 3rd, Thursday. But we're gonna talk about the Vegas Aces and the Indiana Fever. So I want to talk about this game in particular. After seeing the highlights and what happened as the Fever won by the score 81-54, it's clear to me that the Vegas Aces and the way they was playing in that game, they did not come with their best effort at all. And it's clear to me that they need to move on from a lot of stars. Mainly, they need to move on from Chelsea Gray and Joelle Lloyd. You know, both of these women are in their mid-30s, and there's a lot of players that I would think they can go to get, but a few in particular, they need to go and get a younger guard. They need to get younger guards, and they need to go get a younger forward to go along with Aja Wilson. I mean, really in particular, I seen a few. Let me go. Let me go real quick. Oh, not that one. No, not that one. All right. Because I'm just saying right now. So what happened? Joyner Holmes was waived by the Aces. But the thing is, they can go. They need to go get. Need to go young and go get guards. If you're the Aces, they need to go get some younger stars. Uh, for me, I'm just looking right now at the available possible players that can possibly play for them. Um, if I'm the Aces, I would go and get somebody like a Julie Van Loo. Um, Let me see. And they really need to, and they really need to go. They really need to put Nyla Smith more into the lineup. I think that Nalissa Smith. They need to put her in the lineup, and they need to go get somebody like a Breesy Hall. I would say a Breesy Hall, and they need to move like Nyla Smith more in the lineup. They need to put Aaliyah Nye more in the lineup, in my opinion, because Aaliyah Nye, like I said before, in the last commentary, during their losing streak, they need to move her into the lineup to really add more flair, to add more revenue. They need to really add more flair. They need to add a lot more um, flow within the offense, play at a more rapid pace to go alongside to help Aja Wilson and command the ball. Because it seems like with Joelle Lloyd and Chelsea Gray, they're being that they've been in the league, being in the league for so long. Mainly you got Chelsea Gray's been in the league for about at least 10 to 12 years in her belt, and Joelle Lloyd's been there at least 13. So, all that time, of course, they've been mainly more ball dominant with this thing. And so that kind of just shows you that they don't have it's not a lot of flow within the offense, and this team is not going to go anywhere at the end of the day. It doesn't make them more possible and well suitable, in my opinion. So I think that's what they kind of need to really go for, somebody like that, a Breesy Hall, more star Nyla Smith and Aaliyah Nye. Possibly go after Maybe Karada Dobby. Need to probably go after her because I think that would be a more suitable fit for y'all, for them. So that'd be the main thing I would look at, is just try to look at other pieces to see what can fit and what can work. The problem is, and also you need to really play more Dana Evans at this point. Really need to do more things like that to really try to be more suitable for your team. If I, in my opinion, and that's the thing. And they really didn't do much of nothing in the off season, and that is a problem. You gotta really go after players and go after pieces, because this team currently constructed right now with Gray and Lloyd, Jackie Young, and they're not going anywhere at this point. They're not gonna go further to really reach their goal or reach their destiny, reach their potential. So that'd be the main thing I would look at if I was the Aces. And as for and I'll talk about the Lynx in a minute and the Liberty in a minute. But as for the Fever, Asia Wilson was the only player that was in double figures. She had 29 points and 26 minutes. Everybody else was struggling from the field. They could not hit a shot to save their life, man. It was absolutely awful seeing them playing in that game. It was absolutely awful to watch them. But the story of the day is, of course, Kelsey Mitchell and AB, Aaliyah Boston. Both of them were absolutely on point. And showing my folks when I was out of town on the 4th of July, what the thing is, they demanded so much attention. R. McDonald and Kelsey Mitchell draw so much attention. It was so much great ball movement. It was so much great ball movement. It was really, really good rotation. It was really, really good plays to the open corner shot for the three-pointer. It was also feeding Aaliyah Boston and Natasha Howard inside to get their points. That's why she was in double figures. Lexi Hull, she was all right. But R. McDonald and Kelsey Mitchell pretty much demanded the rock and demanded the attention. Also, I like the adding in of Michaela Thompson. She was really something special in that game. She really did her thing, provided some energy, provided a spark for them. And so in that fourth quarter and the second quarter, which is what they would really push the lead further and push them away from the competition, that put them over the top, over the Aces, man. So the ball movement for the Fever, and an ability to get to their shots, the guard play, the demanding of what was being required and asked for them from Mitchell, and of course from R. McDonald, was really the difference of why they was able to put it over the top. So definitely a huge highlight was the guard play, and also a huge highlight was the fact that the Fever just really wanted to win and really wanted to put it down and put it on point. So definitely something that I will look forward to. The Fever are finna make some really good moves and really make a lot of distance separate from the bottom pack. To make it to the point where they can just absolutely go for a run and to make it to the postseason. And then once Caitlin Clark comes back, insert her more in the lineup. She gonna have to work on her game, and I hope being out and being apparently injured and even though I think they said they're resting her because she is gonna be selected in All-Star game. Hopefully, this can really be a sign where she can just work and improve on her certain aspects in her game, and then knowing that watching her team winning, she can just really flow and get herself in there, integrated in the lineup, and work on her defense. That's mainly the main thing I would say she needs to work on, and also really work on the ball rotation and the ball movement instead of remaining stagnant, being one-on-one. But this time, I feel like the Fever, it's not no ball, it's not no one person controlling the rock. It's all moving around. So shout out to them, man. Great win over the Aces. Now, let's talk about the Atlanta Dream versus the Seattle Storm. So the Storm, by the way, won the score of 80-79. And this time you had uh, Gabby Williams and Nikia Ogumike. She had 24 points. Erica Wheeler had 21 points. Gabby Williams had 11 points in 35 minutes. Skylar Diggins was in double figures as well. You had 4 out of the 5 of your starting lineup is in double figures, and they was able to outscore the Dream in the first and third quarter, and in the fourth quarter, the Dream tried to make a run, but it just didn't work. For the Atlanta Dream, they Brianna Jones and Alicia Gray and Jordan Canada was trying to keep it within striking distance, but it just wasn't enough. Canada had a really good game with 25 points in 39 minutes. Alicia Gray, she was in double figures, and Brianna Jones was in double figures, but it just wasn't enough. That fourth quarter they just took the turn and just didn't really make it a difference. It really didn't make it it just wasn't enough and just couldn't make a difference. And I think it was just too little too late to come back because everybody else like Hillman, Caldwell, and Tiana Papa just didn't really do what they were supposed to set out to do. And Brittany Griner was terrible the other night. She was just absolutely atrocious, and you can just see it. Just wasn't no effort put defensively to grab and touch on the boards. Now talking about the now let's talk about the Sparks and the Fever last night. So the Sparks, by the way, won the game 89-87. Now the LA Sparks is trying to. Now this is what happens when a trade goes right for somebody and trying to improve and expose their former team and really try to improve on her game and really improve in facets. Kelsey Plum was able to have 20 points last night, and she was just dominant in that second half. Azura Stevens had 21 points. She was in double figures, also with 12 rebounds. And Daraka Hamby, she's been on point these last few games, and she had 18 points in 32 minutes, and Rakia Johnson at 15. And they was able to hit it last night, whereas the Fever tried to do a little something, but just try to pose a threat in the first half and a little bit in the second, but just couldn't get it done. Natasha Howard and Aaliyah Boston and Kelsey Mitchell were the only few players in double figures, while everybody else was just able to just try to stride on by, but just wasn't enough. Fever they just had their number. The Sparks just had their number last night, and they just completely took it over. And also, it really adds and goes to the point of just if you're the Fever, knowing now that the stakes are high for you to try to make a run for the playoffs and the postseason, you can't afford to lose these kind of games. You can't afford to lose these kind of close games and close matchups, because it can come back. It can come back to haunt you. So can't afford to lose these kind of close matchups. And then for the Sparks, you can build off of this win. You can build off of this season and say, hey, even though we might not make it, we're gonna pose a threat to anywhere else that comes in our way and comes in our circle. And as far as definitely, if I'm Stevens, Darica Hamby, and Rakia Johnson, got to build off of this matchup because Kelsey Plum's gonna do her thing, get her points wherever it pleases her. She gonna do her thing because she's a natural, just gifted talent. She can get to her spots, create her own shots. And as far as everybody else, like Julie Alleman, really create for Kia and Zira Stevens and Daraka Hamby just got to get into her rhythm, just get into her spots. Now, the Lynx and the Golden State Valkyries. So the Lynx won by the score of 82-71, and the star of the game was Tiffany Hayes for the Valkyries. She had 23 points. Stephanie Talbot and Kayla Thorne were also in double figures. Just wasn't enough. It just wasn't enough to really put them over the top. You can just see it that the game just really was slipping away for them in the second half. The Lynx was able to outscore them, and the Lynx was able to do their thing. Led, by the way, by Nafisa Collier with 22, Kayla McBride with 12, and Courtney Williams with 15. The story of the day was Nafisa was able to get into her rhythm and get into her spots versus a couple games ago. She was struggling. She was struggling with the matchups against younger forwards. She was struggling in the matchup. She wasn't really getting into a rhythm. Whereas the Valkyries, she was able to get to her spot. She was able to focus and concentrate on just trying to get into a rhythm and really put herself in a prime position, able to dominate. And that really goes to show you how much um, goes into practicing, goes into just shoot arounds, goes into shooting drills, everything. And that can really come back and really help you out in the long run. So definitely salute and shout out to Nafisa Collier, because she is just absolutely dominant uh, last night, and she's absolutely doing her thing. Courtney Williams came alive, came into a rhythm. She really was doing her thing. But the Valkyries, I would say, look, build off of this loss. I mean, it's one of the only few times you lost um, in a game where the pace that you was running, and also the set that you were basically creating, just wasn't working, and you just ran into a better team right now. And although the Lynx really didn't make off-season moves to really improve them, to really improve their stat, to really improve their lineup, I really feel as if that they're gonna try to go a lot further and go a lot further into going a lot further and go a lot into their rhythm and go a lot into their set. So as far as I'm concerned, the Valkyries, it's just a loss on the board. You just gotta go in the next following few games and really make a run and really make a push for the postseason, and really try to get it down the stretch. Like Hayes, you got to continue to be consistent, and Kayla Thornton and Stephanie Talbot, you got to be consistent as well. Kate Martin's got to get into a rhythm as well, because being where she was and where she was at in Iowa, she's got to really get her into her spots and really get on point and really start hitting her buckets when it's time, definitely when it's clutch time, because you can expect that from her. All right, so those are my recaps. The next time I'll definitely talk about the Storm and Liberty, and definitely I'll talk about the Sky and the Lynx and Angel Reese and Ira Atkins and them. But the next game you'll probably see me cover. Let me see. The next game you'll probably see me cover is probably the Valkyries versus the Atlanta Dream. That's the next matchup you'll probably see me cover. Is that at 7:30? You'll probably see me covering that game and talking about that one. But anyways, getting off that real quick. Oh, I don't even know what I'm going to talk about. Oh, Candace Parker's comments. Let me see. All right, so the last topic I'm going to talk about is Candace Parker's comments on who she thinks is the greatest women's basketball player of all time. And when she says, when discussing the greatest women's basketball player of all time, there's no doubt in my mind, there's no doubt in many minds, there's no doubt and many will conclude Candace, the legend, WNBA legend Candace Parker in the conversation. However, with the WNBA not being established until 1996, several elite players from earlier generations didn't receive their recognition or opportunities that today's stars enjoy. And one of those trailblazing athletes is former USC Trojans icon Cheryl Miller, and according to Parker, she used to go to women's basketball. 100, she always been that, Parker said during an appearance on All Facts and No Breaks with Keyshawn Johnson. You put her in this era and it doesn't matter. She's going to do what she does. Parker also recalled her first time hearing about Miller. I remember Reggie Miller playing the Bulls, and my dad was like, Reggie has a sister, and I thought one of the greatest basketball players on the men's side, and had a sister who was even better. She continued, and the amount of respect I have for her and how much she means to women's basketball, the feeling is mutual. She is an icon. Cheryl Miller's collegiate career at USC spanned from 1982 to 86, but recurring knee injuries ultimately prevented her from pursuing a professional playing career. Had she ever played in the WNBA, it would have required a return to court more than a decade after her college days had ended. Nonetheless, Miller left beyond one of the most decorated careers in women's basketball history. She led the Trojans to back-to-back national championships in 1983 and 84, earned all 4 American honors, and won several prestigious awards, including the Naismith Trophy and the Wade Trophy. She also became the first player, male or female, in U.S. history to have their jersey retired. In 1993, Miller returned to the alma mater as a head coach, and she was later inducted to the Naismith Memorial Basketball Hall of Fame in 95 and the Women's Basketball Hall of Fame in 99. And the story was originally reported, of course, by Athlon Sports, where it first appeared. All right, so that's the story I'll talk about, and another story I'll talk about in another video was Cheryl Miller's thoughts about Clark and Angel Reese and the comparisons. But that is really, really dope to see two stars that I really, really like to hear talk about the WNBA, really, really praising each other. That's really good to hear Candace Parker talking about that. That really makes it worthwhile, and I'm happy to see. that Candace Parker has recognized their greatness and talented as so to speak, man. And that really goes to show you how much the game matters to both. And also, Cheryl Miller was definitely a phenomenal USC Trojan. Her ability to just attack the paint, able to defend, able to make her name and make her mark on a collegiate level. It's just sad that she didn't really get the opportunity and the chance to really play on that professional level, and just really, really show what one of the historically amazing talent that she was when she was in college, man. She broke a lot of records in college. She really did her thing, and she really posed a threat, man. Posed a threat to a lot of women's players, man. Her ability to get to her spot, her ability to just shoot outside the perimeter and also get inside and really have a really good hook shot. Able to grab at least about nine and a half boards, average close to 20 points a game, and like 4 assists, man. She was able to just do her thing. And I'm happy that Candace Parker, knowing that she saw the game and the Bulls, seeing Reggie Miller play, with her dad, and then recognizing that's just greatness and talent, just recognizing each other on a higher level. And also, Candace Parker was one of my favorite players because he was one of the reasons why the LA Sparks had not only won their national championship, but a couple years ago, the Las Vegas Aces won because of that. So, oh god, sorry about that. I had an unexpected call. But yeah, getting back to what I was saying. Yeah, that's definitely commendable for Candace Parker to recognize greatness and talent as we speak, man. And really, I definitely cannot wait to hear everybody else's comments of what Candace Parker thinks. But to me, definitely I don't know what are you talking about. Anyways, I definitely cannot. I definitely cannot tell you how much this really means that both players is recognizing each other and their greatness and their talent. And but yeah, that's all I got to say about this topic. Tell me what you guys think about the women's games last night, and also tell me what you guys think about Candace Parker's comments about Cheryl Miller. And yeah, I'll be getting out of here in another just in another couple minutes. But I want to say thank you guys for watching, like, sharing, and subscribing, watching the page, and giving me your feedback and everything. Really appreciate that. So yeah, I'm out of here, and yeah, thank you all for watching, and I will talk to you guys in the next one. Peace.